And it's coming.
We are
We are
live.
live.
Yes, 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 we are live. Yet another Sunday, 2 p.m. We are here as every Sunday we come. Our viewers, we are grateful that you have joined us now or even in the future. And right now, I have wonderful entrepreneurs with me, and they are here full of nuggets. So please grab your coffee, grab your tea, grab your chai, or whatever Mentor Juliet will say. Even Fufu, come, sit. So you don't move. You go wash your hands later. Eh? Come, join us, listen to us to the end, because especially her, she has a lot of nuggets. She's ready for this topic. She loves this topic because she has read this book that we are about to dive into. Okay, so without further ado, we are going to tell our viewers our names. I'm sure by now they even know each of our names. This book that we are about to dive into. But we will tell them our names and tell them where we are streaming from. All right, Mentor Foluke, you're up first. Firstborns. I'm sure
Okay, okay. Thank you so much, our wonderful host for the day, my coach on the session, and my Epo co-presenter, the movement lady herself. Good to be back here once again. And to all our viewers out there, we thank you and for always coming back to watch our session. So we are here today again. Do not touch the dial because we have a whole lot of nuggets to dish out that would help you to take the next the decision that would help you launch into the next step that you need to launch into to achieve those dreams that you are aiming at. By way of introduction, my name is Foluke Adebayo. I'm originally from Nigeria, mom of 3 blessed children, 2 boys and a girl. I'm a wife, I'm a Christian. I'm an accountant by education, but I work as certification officer. And on the side, I run this digital business as my plan B to supplement my family earnings and to create that legacy that will give me the time freedom in the near future. So if you are out there, we encourage you to stay tuned and to see how you can be part of this amazing business that we come out here all the time to talk about. So over to you, our host for the day. Thank you.
Wow, wow. An accountant. And soon, the plan B will become a plan A. Can't wait, can't wait, can't wait. Mr. Dismas, you're up next.
Thank you for hosting us. Thank you for having the accountant in the house. Thank you for having the movement lady in the house. And I'm really looking forward for this topic. My name is Atisma Stiga, originally from East Africa via Nairobi, Kenya. I reside in Atlanta, Georgia. Today I am gonna be live from Little Rock in Arkansas because I also do this. Plan A is my business here, trucking business. And on my plan B, I am a proud digital business owner. And I'm happy to be here this afternoon. Looking forward. And I give it back to you, our wonderful able host.
Wow. Our viewers, that is our coach. The reason why he made this platform possible, and we are so grateful. And Miss Juliet.
Yeah, good afternoon, our viewers. Good afternoon, everybody in the house. You guys just started with movement lady today. You forgot about candle lighter. It's only the movement lady that is in the house today. I don't know. Mr. Professor, you forgot about your candle lighter there. Don't forget that one. You know he has lighted a lot of candle. He's still lighting more. So don't forget that. You need to
Yes,
say that. Mhm.
So
Yes,
thank you
yes,
guys for coming this afternoon.
yes,
My name is
yes, yes.
Juliet. I am originally from Nigeria. I am married. I have two beautiful princesses and one handsome prince. So when I was in Nigeria, I worked as a secretary, then moved from Nigeria to the US. I have worked with transportation before leaving there. Right now, I am a stay-home mom, a proud digital business owner, and a mompreneur. So my professor have already told you guys, don't touch that die, don't leave that place. If you are eating your fufu, you are eating whatsoever you are eating, sit down there. Don't go and wash your hand after everything. Then you can go and do that. And if you have any question, you see we are for today. Anyone that resonates with you, put your email and your name, tick the small box and look at the free webinar, then you can ask questions from there. Then if you have any contribution as we are just talking now, you can put out your contribution there. Then we are going to acknowledge it and say shout out to you. Thank you guys for coming and listening. We have good nugget and I know it's going to bless everybody that comes today. I give it back to my wonderful professor.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And my name is Beatrice, also streaming live from Atlanta, Georgia. I'm in the medical field by profession and a proud digital business owner, a mompreneur. So today, our topic, I love it, the 4 agreements. And for those who want to dig into this topic, please go get the book. For today, we are going to scratch the surface for you and I guess give you the juice, the gist, so you can go dig some more and find out a little bit more for yourself. This book, The 4 Agreements, is written by Don Miguel. He uses practical guide to personal freedom rooted in ancient wisdom. He argues that we are conditioned from childhood. Don't do that. Don't touch that. Don't go wherever. All these things that you've been told from your childhood to accept limiting beliefs, which shape how we see ourselves and the world. Okay? These agreements we unconsciously make can cause suffering, can cause fear, and even self-doubt. And for you to break free, he's teaching you how to break free from what you've been taught, these limiting beliefs. He proposes the 4 powerful principles, which, like I said, we're going to scratch today. So having said that, we're going to go to the first topic. I want our mentor to open this one because I know he's crazy about this book. So the first question goes to you, our mentor, our able mentor. Am I communicating my vision, my promises, and my values with clarity and with integrity to my team and to my clients?
Wonderful question. Wonderful question. And because we are basing on the book, I'll go first to the first principle of the book and then I'll come back to this communication. Because sometimes you think you're communicating. I'm breaking? Is it breaking?
No, you're good.
Okay, good. I thought you said I was breaking. All right, so I'll go back to the principle. The first principle is you have to make your word to be impeccable. Impeccable means with no fault. Because once you make that word to be impeccable, then you will see everything that we are talking about, communication, your vision, yourself, everything will be in alignment. When your word is not impeccable, there's a couple of things that is going to happen. First of all, you're going to be believing a lot of lies that, they come from sometimes from other people. We call them white lies or I don't know how I can call them, but you know how somebody can come with an opinion and it sounds so good, and yet you have not even verified to see if what they're saying is true. The other part is the lies that come from within yourself. from what she was talking about, the conditions that you've already been conditioned into. Those lies can go like things like you're not good enough,
Mm-hmm.
you're not enough, you don't have enough information. What if you fail? Those voices, you might be so familiar with them, you might say, I don't have enough money. You know, any of those type of communication that is coming from within, and sometimes you're so familiar with it that it has become one with your personality that you don't know how to differentiate from that voice from your true self. So when we say you have to have your word to be impeccable, you literally going back to the voice of God and what God has spoken about you. Now you want to make that to be your reality, regardless of this other conditioned that you've conditioned yourself into, or the environment has conditioned you into, so that when you speak your word has no fault. If you have a vision, you can say, you can see it clearly, you see the end clearly, even though you might not know how you're going to get it done. One of the things that is going to be very clear for you is what the end will look like. Once that vision is gotten, what will be the end look like? Part of your word, your spoken word, will be you'll be affirming that you're already this that you are going towards. You make it very clear to yourself that you will persist through the process with no exception. You'll not have any excuses. You'll only have results, but not excuses and blaming, because you have made up your mind. You know, once you have the vision will come to pass, and you're sold out. And how you communicate to other people, it will be so clear because it's so clear to you. Because if it's not clear to you, then even your communication will not be very clear. People will not get exactly what you're saying because it will seem like you're not one with what you're saying. You'll say one thing today, tomorrow you'll be saying something different. But once you have clarity yourself, the communication and everything else will be very clear to everybody. So that first principle of understanding, making your word to be impeccable, is very important, because once your word is impeccable, to me, I truly believe most people error because their word is not impeccable. They hear voices that are not aligned to the very goals that they want. Even the word sabotage just simply means you're not in alignment with what the very thing that you say you want, from your voice and from your own thoughts, your own feeling, your own actions are not in alignment. But where is that coming from? There's an inner voice that is speaking to you. There's an inner judge that is coming from inside of you that is speaking all these things as if they know you very well. And the truth is, they know you because you've been living your old, that conditioning that you've been conditioned into. Now is the time to be free and making your word impeccable and speak to yourself clearly, knowing that if that vision, you've been given that vision is already a finished vision. And the only way you can bring it to earth, or you can parent it to this earth, is by making your word impeccable and have an agreement, be in alignment with what you are seeing only in your image, in your mind. Be in alignment, full alignment, and speak as if it's already done, and give gratitude. And that's what I'll say on that topic to start off.
Wow.
And I give it back to our wonderful, wonderful hosts.
Wow, what a start. That your word needs to be impeccable. That what you say you will do, what you will say, that when you say you will come, when you show up, even right here, when you say you will come, you show up. Those are ways that your word is impeccable. You do it. When you say I'll do, you do. You show up for your business, you show up for yourself. Just do it. All right. Miss Mentor Juliet, anything you want to add on that question?
Not much, because coach has already said what that thing mean. I don't know what I'm going to add again, because it's still the same thing. I don't want to repeat what he has said.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't want to close anything. Miss Foluke, you have anything to add?
Yeah. Coach has said a lot actually, but at the same time,
Mhm.
I think what I can just add is, when your word is your word, it shows the level of integrity, how much you value integrity. A lot of
Mhm.
people, even when they open their mouths to talk, people already know that what they are saying is just the direct opposite, because to a
Mm-hmm.
larger
Mm-hmm.
extent, they lack integrity. Over time,
Mm-hmm.
they've said things
Mhm.
that people cannot hold them accountable for their words,
Mm-hmm.
right? So what I would just say in this is that, our word should always be our word, such that
Mm-hmm.
we should, our word should get to the point that when we say it, people should know that, oh, you said this thing, and they can take you for what you've said and believe
Mhm.
Amen.
you for who you are. That is
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
integrity at work. And until a
Mm.
man or a woman attain that level, it's like
Mhm.
we are yet to get started, right? So that's what I can just add.
Wow.
Wonderful.
Wow. I like that. And I don't know if I read it in this book, because I've been reading a lot. Yes, we know words have power. And it was whatever I was reading was saying that if you can just visualize the universe as you, like
Mm-hmm.
everything is you, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Dismas is me, Juliet is me, Foluke is me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I won't misuse my words, because I will, if I start calling Dismas names, I will realize I'm calling Dismas, I'm
You are
calling
calling
me.
yourself.
And
You are
Dismas
calling
not
yourself.
even existing, is me, you know. So if everybody just looks at the world as themselves, those name
It's in
calling
this book. It's in this book
is in
that
this
he
book.
call it mirror. That he
Uh-huh.
call it mirror.
So
Mm-hmm.
you tend to use your words properly, because there's no way you're gonna call them every other people names, because that's you. And it's not just people, it's telling you to see everything
Everything.
as
Thing.
you.
Everything.
Mm-hmm.
Even
Yeah.
that mirror, even this table, see
Mm-hmm.
it as me. And I will
Mm-hmm.
I will treat everything with the respect. I will treat everything better, you
Mm-hmm.
know. And I will choose my words, because I want, I don't want to call myself names. So, I'm happy the way you answered this question,
Uh,
of
and I'm glad you brought that up because
uh-huh,
somebody might be listening and be wondering, how can I be the other person
uh-huh.
and not understand the fact that yes, we have two sides of us that show up that make one of you. The one side is that we are all consciousness
Mm-hmm.
and we all coming from consciousness. That consciousness is just one. I love the way the Bible would put it. In fact, it's in Acts 17. It will say like this: in him we live,
And
move, and have our being. We are in him. We are in this mind. It's almost like everything is happening in the mind of God. And in that mind, we are one. There's nothing, there's no separation.
Mhm.
Now, the experiences that we're going to have, they're going to be individualized experience as a persona. And yet, in the real thing, it's just like if the water, you had the whole sea and the wave went up. Is that wave not part of the sea?
It
it's part.
is.
It's one and with the sea. That's what we mean, that you're one with every. The sea of consciousness is just one, and the individualized self is just like that wave. You're just like that wave, but you're still part of the sea as one. And when you start looking at yourself from that perspective, you realize you cannot even hate your enemy. You love your enemies. You'll understand why the Bible is telling you what it's telling you, the way it tells you, because you're one with everything. That's why it starts with even when they ask Jesus, "How do we pray?" You start with our Father. We only have one Father. If we
Mhm.
have one Father, that means we are all related. There's none of us who's not with one family. So with that, I give it back to you.
Thank you for that addition. All right. And for those that are following, that is our agreement number one, being impeccable with your words. All right. Second question goes to Miss Juliet. When I face rejection or criticism, which, can come anytime. Do I see it as feedback for growth rather than a personal attack?
It depends on how you look at it. Some people see it as growth, some people see it as personal attack. And not only like that, it depends on how you put it. Like now, if we are talking, like last time you said, a good leader don't just laugh anyhow. The way we see it is different, and the way you put it is different until the coach explain it that no, this is how it is. So for this one you are talking about, for me, I will encourage my maturity and look at it. I will not look at it as a challenge. I will look at it as a part of development.
Mhm.
I'll be in the process of developing, not just trying to prove that I have failed. That is why they are criticizing me. I'll look at it as something, maybe something is wrong somewhere, then I will try and develop that area where they are criticizing me. I will not just take it as, everybody is talking about me. So I won't take it personal. Let me just say like that. I won't take it personal. Like if a client decide not to join my business, I've seen a lot like that. I still call them. Sometimes it feel like hot, but I still call them like friends. Sometimes when I call some of them, they don't pick. Then I will test them and say, I'm just asking after your family, not because of the business. At least you have to pick when I call. Before we are friends, we are not enemies. So we are not still going to be enemy because of this. You understand? So sometimes they will call me back and say, no, I was busy. I say, you are not busy, I know. Sometimes they will say, yes, that's it. I thought you want to talk about the business. I say, no, I'm just calling you. This is what I'm calling you for. They will not say, oh, sorry. And this thing you are calling me for is important. So sometimes communication matters a lot. Sometimes some people will look at it that they don't value what you want to tell them. But if you test them and they see that there is value in what you are telling them, they will call you back and tell you, okay, sorry, this moment I was feeling like this, but right now that you have put it clear, I now know. So me, I don't take anything personal. I believe in myself. I believe in my emotion. I don't lose it because of anything anybody is saying. Before, I used to be like that, but since I started this business, reading and listening to all those podcasts, it has helped me out of many things that if you see me before, you will not be able to, let me say, you will not be able to comprehend the way I will answer you. But right now, I don't think it take it like offense. I take it like, yes, I have to learn from this thing, no matter how it is. I give communication chance to reflect on anything that is going on. Then I don't only allow my opinion to count. I allow other people's opinion to count. That is why you see, I always say it. If we have any problem in the house, I will call everybody to the table. I will say, you did this today, you did this today, I did this today. Let's iron it. What is going to happen? Then we sit down, everybody say, oh, this one say, I'm sorry. This one say, I'm sorry. Everybody will feel happy because I don't want everybody to feel sad. Sometimes I tell them, if you are feeling sad, you don't have to put your sadness on everybody. You have to, if you are not happy, just go away, do your own thing. Then later you come and do the right thing. So like feedback, sometimes it's uncomfortable, but you have to go ahead and do that thing. Like as Foluke said, if you say yes to something that you know this thing, you cannot do it, that's a lie. Just say yes to what you can do and say no to what you cannot do. Let your word be your word. Let your yes be yes. Let your nay be nay. Like me, I'm a blunt person. I will tell you the truth. If I don't want to do anything, you cannot force me. No matter what. If I don't want to do it, you can't force me. But if I have made up my mind to do that thing, no matter what, any length, I will go and do it. So that's me for you. And I cannot use myself to compare other people. So with the four agreements, when I read that book and I hear the guy said that because he doesn't want to forget, so he give it a smoky mirror. So he said he is the mirror that he sees everybody in him. everybody needs to see themselves in him too, but they don't understand him. They were looking at him like weird. What is this guy doing? How will this guy call himself this kind of name? How will he say he's this? And because they know him before, so they were still using that former eyes to look at him, but he has changed because of the process that he has gone through.
Mm.
I give it back to my wonderful host. Thank you.
Okay, I was trying to keep quiet so you can finish the summary of the book. All right. Ms. Oluke, you have anything to add on that same question?
Yeah, our movement lady, she has really said a lot.
Uh-huh.
But what I would add is, I don't take things personal, because in whatever relationship, business or otherwise, if you tend to take things personal, then you will not be able to like see things in the real perspective that you're actually supposed to see it. Taking for instance, like Juliet mentioned, a lot of rejections when dealing with leads, maybe some of them people that you already even know, even before you venture into this business. You know, they see you doing your things, they want to like be part of what you're doing. But when a lot of them does not even have the patience to like grow things the way you are committed to it yourself. They see things mostly on the surface of social media. When it's time for them to make commitments, then they back out. They don't even have patience to like, be committed to grow a business like you're doing it. But when they rush to you like that, and before you know it, they back out. If you want to take things personal, then you will begin to have a lot of enemies. Because I know how many people have come my way. Is it from the family? Is it from people that are friends from maybe back in school, people I've worked with back in my home country? But, what is, how will I put the word now? You can't just continue to take things personal with everybody. I've said it before. The long list of enemy will be the list of enemy will be so long, right? Because what is good for me is not good for others. The level of patience that I have to stay committed to something, to grow it to the point that it's materialized and begin to give me the results that it should give me. Not everybody has it, right? So the best thing is give people the information that they needed. Whether they use the information or not, depends with them. And that is one thing I love about this business, because you are not limited to the people you know. From my personal experience, people you don't even know, run with the vision quickly with you. There are people that are formerly, have previously been in your cycle. So, attend to people the way they are. When they come to you for information, give to them. If they say yes or no, let it be like that. Life continues. There's no point breeding cycle of enemies just because some people said no, to what ordinarily they come to you for by themselves. And with that, everybody will just be at peace. I give it back to you, our host.
Wow. I'll tell you what our coach says. Some will.
Some will, some
Yeah,
won't.
some
And
will.
so what?
So what? Exactly.
What?
Coach, here we are listening. We'll be writing
Yes,
notes.
I see that. I see that. I see that. Wow, 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 wow.
As
As
you
as
answer the
coach, coach will say, those people don't know you have not done anything, that you have been successful all your life. So they don't trust.
yes,
They are
yes.
looking at you. When did you that we know from here, when did you now start having a successful
Online
business?
business.
So
Mhm.
how come you that we just know like this, we know you in and out. So how are you going to be a successful business owner? So that's why they don't trust you. So people outside will trust you more. But when they see that those people outside have trust you and you have moved to the level and they are seeing you in a different way, they will not be coming and say, I know you told me before, I did not believe you. Now I now believe you. Uh, can I still join, or is it too late? That's it.
Okay. All right. Coach, do you have anything to add?
For me, I think this chapter here, because the chapter that was what they've said, my two mentors have said this too clearly, that don't take anything personally. I think Don made it very clear to understand that one of the things that I got from the book, and I took it as my own philosophy, to understand that this world, people are like, every person is a world on its own, because the way they see the world is literally uniquely through their own lens. And even when they are saying something to you, they're not saying that thing pointed to you. It's literally pointed according to their lens. So if you take it personally, you're not understanding that that has nothing to do with you. Even if they said it like it sounded like they're talking to you directly, they say you are stupid. They're not. It's only because their lens is telling them they themselves are stupid. Now they project it out to somebody else as if they're giving message to you, but it's only revealing to you who they are and what their lens is at that point. So what I loved about it, just to understand, is like, as we are one, and also in this particular topic is telling you, okay, listen, they also live in their own little worlds. There's almost a billion worlds that are all coming together. So at the same time, just understand when they're speaking, you don't put a meaning to what they're saying. You stand on what your meaning is to whatever it is. You can listen in and listen, but also understand that the meaning they're giving it to it, especially if it comes out to be like a negative thing that is being sent to you, don't take that poison. Don't drink that poison. Because if you drink it, you the one who's now taking the poison and maybe hoping somebody else will die. And yet the key is not to take that poison, because it has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with somebody else's opinion. And here I learned a phrase, I think I got it from somebody else. The phrase simply just said, the cheapest commodity on earth is opinion.
Yeah.
Everybody has one. Don't allow yourself, people to influence you negatively by this cheapest commodity. So with that being said, to me, that set me free a lot. So even if I do business, I'm looking for the people who are looking for what I got. If they're not, I'm very happy for where they are, and I'm happy for their journey. But I already know the ones who are meant for me are also gonna come, whether they are my close friends or they're the strangers that are gonna come. The business is gonna grow with or without the people I know. With that being said, I give it back to you, a wonderful host.
Wow. I like this one right here. Ms. Foluke, I wanted to add that, when you tell them and they don't come in, you have planted your seed, and that's all you can do.
Yeah.
After that, you just wash your hands, you let it go. And sooner or later, like Mentor Juliet said, they'll come back.
Yes.
But you planted the seed. And I like the way DC said, that what others say or do is a reflection on them, not you. And so you have to detach yourself so you can protect your own peace. I don't know if I'm going to butcher your name. Ostuk. I hope I said it right. He said, good job. Thank you, thank you for watching us.
Thank you.
Yeah, so you have to detach from, their negativity so you can protect your peace. All right. So that brings us to the next question. Y'all are doing very well. And Foluke, it looked like you read this book in your dream. You're doing well.
Oh my goodness. Now I have an assignment I need to go and do, to go and read the book.
This question is yours. Huh? Do I confirm expectations with my partners, my employees, and my customers? Or do I leave room for misunderstanding?
Okay, this is a very good question. Thank you for the question. I think, building on what we've talked about before, that we don't just like give opportunity for people based on your conversation with them, that, and they didn't yield to what you believe in, to cause any form of trouble, right? So I don't make assumption, because expectation is good to have expectation. At the same time, it's good to set your expectations straight. If you over expect, you would always end up being disappointed. And when you get disappointed in a particular expectation, either from a family member, from business partners, from co-workers, even in workplace, by the time you get disappointed, before you know it, it can lead to another thing. It can become a break of wall in relationship. Let me put it that way. But when you set expectation, and not just setting expectation, realistic expectation. Many a times we set expectation that are not realistic. We expect too many from people, depending on whatever relationship we have with them. And because our expectations are not realistic enough, it end up becoming, a kind of misunderstanding, and it end up becoming, there is always a crack in relationship. So, like I mentioned before, I manage my expectations with people. Everybody cannot, be on the same page with you. Everybody cannot meet up your expectations. But the best way to like manage relationship, as far as I know, is you yourself as an individual managing your own expectation, such that if people meet up to your expectation, fine and good. If they fall short of that expectation, because you already have a prepared mind that, oh, if it come out well, fine. If on the other way, fine. Then due to that, you'll be able to manage relationship irrespective of whatever, how the person meets your expectation or otherwise. So that's what I can say. Managing expectation goes a long way in being able to like you having a good relationship with people, whether at work, whether in family or in business. Just set the expectation right. Don't over expect from people, because people that you are even expecting from, they are not God. They are human being like you. We all have our shortfalls, right? So if we have that understanding, we know that we are working towards perfection, and nobody is actually perfect. We are just working towards it. So with that being said, I give it back to you, our host.
Wonderful, wonderful. That don't make assumptions. Don't, put these high expectations, and then you get disappointed, and then, the snow just keeps rolling. All right, Mr. Dismas, same question, please.
Yes, ma'am. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I'll go back to the principle first, because I like how you put the principle. Don't assume, because most of the time
Make
it's
assumptions.
your assumptions that you might be projecting. Yes, you're making assumptions, and then you're projecting them into your own imagination, and then now things go sour. So instead, what I liked what he said about that is learn to ask questions, find clarity, get understanding from the other person, from their perspective, understand it completely before you make yourself to be understood to them. So instead of just making an assumption that, oh, because they saw this behavior, it must mean this. Not necessarily. Maybe they're doing that thing, and you're judging it from a very different perspective, but you don't know where they're coming from. But if you just ask them, why are you behaving this way? What is it that what is causing you to do this? They might give you better clarity. Even at work, maybe they're doing things and you think they're ignoring you when you're working with them. And or sometimes even you as a leader, you can want something for the other person bigger than they want it for themselves. Sometimes you might end up trying to push them because you're assuming they want it as bad as you want it for them. and you realize everybody's in their own journey. You have to get to see in their journey what do they actually want, what are they ready for. Because sometimes people talk a big talk, and yet the walk is not matching their big talk. And you can still make an assumption thinking because they talked a big talk, they mean they're going to put big actions too. So it is very important also to listen to what they say and also be very clear when you see their actions. Is it matching what they're saying? So that you see how serious they're about their own walk. Big thing is ask questions. Ask questions. When you're not clear about something, before you assume it, especially when it comes to other people, how you're relating with other people. Now, aside, when you're relating with you and you, because there's going to be three of you who I have to relate with within you that is going to make one. If you're going to assume things for your own good, not because whatever you also assume as an assumption, whether you like it or not, you're going to be assuming some things. Some of them will be based on your beliefs, or it's going to be based with your vision. If you're going to assume, then assume for the best when you're talking to yourself. So when you talk to yourself, how do you talk to yourself? With an assumption of the best, that person who has already attained the very things that you're saying you're going after. You talk as if you've already attained it. You talk as if you are already empowered to do it. And truly, you already are, because your assumptions become your reality. Your assumptions become really your beliefs. So you have to understand also when you're dealing with you, now the assumption has to be you're only seeing the best out of you. Because if you don't, then whatever you are seeing also as an assumption, it will also become a reality to you. I love the way Job would say something here. The things that I feared, they became a reality to him. They came upon him. So you have to also understand, fear is just an assumption. You're assuming that things will go wrong before they actually happen. And here I'm saying, transform that fear into faith so that you can assume things have already worked for you, and put your mind and on the feeling of fulfillment. Because I like another book we're reading where they talk about the 5 primary drivers of everything. It starts with how you believe, and believe is just the stories that you're telling in your head. They determine the thoughts that are going to come to you. Those thoughts are going to determine what emotions you're going to have, if you're going to feel good or not feel good. Out of those emotions are going to determine what actions are going to come out of you. Whether you're going to act or not, it's going to come out of that, how you feel. The actions are going to determine what your results are going to be. And your results are going to reinforce what your beliefs are, what your stories are. So you can see it's just a vicious cycle unless you decide to do something to change those beliefs. And those beliefs will be, you decide to assume something different from what the story is that you've been telling over and over and over and over. So with that being said, I give it back to you, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful host.
Wow. Yeah, wow. Even there was something else I was listening to, that even as basic as our relationships in our partners,
Yes.
sometimes we assume they will change, but you can't change anyone, you know?
Yes.
They are what they are, and if you love them, you love them for who they are. Don't marry them thinking they're going to change.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
And I like the way you said it, that, stop assuming, ask questions. And more importantly, listen. They could be explaining and you're not listening. Ask your questions, listen, and from that, create space for understanding and growth. Stop assuming. That is the number 3 agreement. As we move to the last one, the last agreement, we are back to you, my coach. 1, 2, 3, 4. Am I consistently showing up with focus, with energy,
Mhm.
knowing that my best may look different each day, but I will still
Mhm.
do my best.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I like that. I love that. And in fact, the book helped me a lot because I'm one of those people that once I commit, sometimes I used to over judge myself because sometimes even when I like the way he says your best is not always going to be the same. If your body is not feeling good, if you're under the weather, you might not be able to do the same actions you can do when you're well. So you have to understand the key thing is if you can get at the end of the night and ask yourself, did I do all I could do in this day? If the answer is yes, all you could do is all you could do, and all you could do is enough.
Mhm.
Now, the truth of the matter is it has to start with some clarity. You have to have a lot of clarity and say, what exactly is it that I'm trying to do? Once you have that clarity to understand so that your actions are actually congruent with your dream, because if they're not congruent now, you can do a lot. I use this analogy all the time. I always use this analogy that you can be climbing the, the ladder and you get to the top of the building and you realize you are climbing on the wrong building. You just went on the wrong building. So the clarity gives you that to understand, first of all, this is what I want to achieve. And these are the actions, meaning you have to plan your work and work your plan. And once you put the plan down, the execution has to be with no excuses. Eliminate excuses, eliminate blame, eliminate everything. And you say every day, make it clear. What is it that I'm supposed to do today? And then you come in, you do everything that you can do possible so that when you look at it, you'll say, I've done everything I could do today towards what I said I was going to do. And that consistency is also very, 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 very important. And at the end of the day, here is where I say, even if you run a little bit short, don't beat yourself down. Congratulate yourself, pat yourself for being a person of your own word and really keeping your word and doing all that you could do. And knowing all you could do is all you can do, and all you can do is enough. So that's how I take it, and that's how I apply myself now. I just come on and that, if my body's saying I rest, I can rest, but I never use an excuse to say that I'm tired, now I can't do nothing. No, I take that rest and still come back and do my best. So at the end of the day, to me, I just get, at the end of the day, I always ask, did I do my best on this day? Excuse me. Felt on that one coming. Once I can say yes, that's enough. That is enough. And sometimes my best is not always the same. All I can say is that I can look at it and say, I'm going towards where I said I'm going to go towards, and that's enough. So that's how I judge it for me. And it has worked very well. And it keeps me very consistent now because without going through that roller coaster, roller coaster, roller coaster, and sometimes I used to be the person that I was looking at the outcome so much. If the outcome is not looking favorable the way I thought it should be, sometimes you set a goal, you say, by this date, this should have happened. If it doesn't happen on that date, all I'm looking back is there some things I can learn that I could do better? Did I do everything that I could with what I knew at the point? And if the answers are yes, I'm so happy. I'm not looking at it and like, oh my goodness, I missed this, so I must have been a failure. I must have been a person who can achieve this. No, I just adjust, take the lessons, and launch out again. Put another date that I'm saying because I've realized with those dates help me to discipline myself also, so I can go the extra that I need to go. So all that being said, I just said every day I want to show up, not only for the business. It doesn't matter now what I do because I've come also to understand how you do one thing is how you do everything. Now, anything that I'm gonna do, I'm gonna bring excellence to it and bring the best I can bring, the best self I wanna show up every day, same way, every day. And just keeping that in mind, even though I have that an idea of showing up every day the same way, there are days I might run a little bit short, but it's okay. Do my best even with when I'm not feeling to the par. Always just push for my best. And that's all I can say for me with this topic. I loved it. And with that, I give it back to you, our wonderful, wonderful, wonderful professor and host.
Okay. I like the way you explain that. Doing your best even in your worst days. All right. Mentor Juliet, anything you want to add?
Yeah, for me, I do a gentle and daily self checkup. You understand? So that helped me, remind me to stay faithful in my posting and in whatsoever I'm doing. I know I will not be perfect, but I'm just trying to be perfect. You understand? So I'm not perfect. I'm just striving to be perfect. In my digital business, I stay consistent. I do what I need to do at the time, at the right time. I stay steady and I meet with my client. No matter the challenges or whatsoever, the changes that is in it, I still keep on doing my best. And I know that my best will show up no matter how it is. Sometimes my mind keep on telling me that you are not doing enough, but I still get up and tell myself, yes, like I say today I'm doing great no matter how it is. Today I'm doing great. Sometimes it feel like I'm not doing enough, but something is going to still happen today no matter how it is. And again, no matter how it is, I can handle anything that come my way. I can handle it. That is why I'm not breaking down. No matter what the response I get, I can handle it. I know that my chapter of today is going to start well and is going to end well. So I can still contribute to important things that is happening in my life and in the world. So I give it back to you. Thank you.
All right. Being consistent. I like that. Mentor Foluke, anything to add?
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity. Yeah, on my own side, I'm staying committed and I try as much as possible to be consistent. I know we all, it happens that at times you can have a day that, you don't feel like it. But because if you have a system in place already, knowing what you need to do to show up, because understanding that this is all about visibility. If you are not visible, you won't have the opportunity to reach and connect with the right people. So having understood that, I put in the energy. I try to guide my energy as much as possible. So many things can warrant negative energy, around you that can bring you down. But once you know that you have to show up, you need to do what I need to do, then it's everything it takes for me to stay committed. I avoid excuses. We have 1001 excuses that we will not do what you are supposed to do. But because I know that if I didn't show up, nobody would come and show up for me. So all those excuses, I try as much as possible to put them aside. Instead, I see how to go around it and still show up and do the needful despite all the excuses. I try as much as possible to avoid procrastination because procrastination, as we all know, they are killers of dreams. Anything I need to do part time concerning my business, showing up, creating posts, following up my lead, checking my ad, and all that. Even though we have a lot going on in my life, my family, and all that, but I still create time amidst all that to still show up for my business, right? And I avoid negative energy. I've talked about that one because it can come in different angle. But if you are not in tune, in the right mindset, it would affect so many other things. Because of that understanding, I try to avoid it because if I allow it, it's not just going to affect my business, mental health, and it's cut across. So I try to guide against any form of negative energy and stay consistent as much as I could. So with that being said, I give it back to you.
Yes, yes, yes. So our viewers, we have come to the end of our session. Just reminding you that, together, all these agreements, is 4 of them. They create freedom from fear. These 4 agreements create freedom from fear. They create better relationships and greater inner confidence if you follow them. Okay? They shift you from living by reacting to everything or being swayed by the wind and everything else to living intentionally, unlocking growth both personally and professionally, especially in this business of ours. So with that being said, we have come to the end. We are grateful that you watched us to the end. And I hope you got one or two things that will help you personally or professionally. All right, Mr. DC, please tell our viewers why we come here every day.
Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. I hope every one of you who has come all the way to the end now has gotten some value from what we have shared. And the actual value here, we are running to say that whatever your dream is, it is valid. And we are all business entrepreneurs here. And the best thing that has happened to us, we also, some of us still have or most of us here still have our own jobs or careers that we are still going through. And we know for sure it's just a matter of time that our entrepreneurship will take over, meaning this business will be our primary source of income. And we've seen how wonderful it is from even looking from our community, how so many people have been blessed by it. That's why we also come here, like on top of the roofs, telling everybody, listen, if you're praying for a change, if you're praying for something, for an intervention, for your money to change, here it is. If you have all the money and you've been looking for where you can be in time of what I call time freedom, how you can get the time freedom, we are saying here it is. Here is the vehicle that can give you both time freedom and money freedom, so that you can really live for what you came here to live for. Your soul did not come to be locked up in cubicles. You know that very well. That's why 87% of the people don't like what the jobs they do, because the truth of the matter, their soul wants to be free. So we are saying, if you look in front of you, there's websites in front of there, right there. Click on whoever you are relating with. And one thing I can assure you, no matter who that person is, they're going to hold your hand step by step for you to have your own business and have a very successful business. That is the commitment I can give you that comes from us. And if you're ready, take that leap of faith. Don't wait. One of the things that I love about what you've heard today is that you have to be true to your own word. You have to be true. Your soul has been telling you something, and you know you have to be true. You have to be impeccable to that word that the soul is communicating to you. And if you know that is what you're looking for, it is here. This is your answered prayer. And with that being said, I give it back to our professor.
All right, so I'm not even going to add anything from our studio. What do we tell our viewers?
Bye-bye. See you tomorrow at 10 a.m.
Ciao.
Yes.